What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well. As for myself, I'm doing good. I'm maintaining over here. Just sitting back down to get another daily trade recap done on a very small green day today, primarily due to the overnight hold of a SPY contract. I held a SPY contract overnight. I got that contract after I'd already done my recap for Friday, and that contract made us a little money today, not much. And then we took some other trades, made a little bit of money, took a trade, lost some money on, but I want to focus on one trade today that I took that I found a little interesting. So I kind of ran the numbers. It was a small cap stock that I took an option contract out on. So I want to kind of look at that one. That's probably going to be the only trade that we actually do a full recap on. But let's go ahead. Let's bring up TRADERVUE real quick. We'll look at the details. Reviewing trades for Monday, March 6th. Took 6 trades. That's really 5 trades. Actually, that's really 4 trades. One of those trades is the SPY overnight hold. We made $20 on that trade. Another trade that I took, this ALRN, I'm holding on to that one still as well. So that's an overnight hold on a small cap. But we traded UNCY, very small green trade. This thing opened into a halt, and we got out as it came back down out of that halt. It didn't go higher. Apple, small green. Meta, we took a red trade on that. This morning, I said that I did not want to trade any big caps because I didn't like the way that the market was looking. It was a little overextended to me. It needed a pullback, but the pullback would have put a lot of the stocks where I didn't want to see them getting pulled back to. So I really should not have taken these 2 trades right here, but I did. And then this trade right here, AMAM, this is the trade that I kind of want to look at. Because again, like I said, I bought options, but I ran the numbers if I would have bought shares. Me personally, I think I would have preferred to do the shares. Would have cost me a little bit more. But before we do that, I do want to click this one. I want to see what the max unrealized was. Because again, very small risk. I only had 50 shares on this thing. We made 13 cents per share. So that was decent. And lo and behold, I don't see the numbers. I wanted to see what the max unrealized gains were on this one. Oh, I know why. I bought this pre-market 923. It's not gonna give us that data being that I got in that pre-market. So can't see that. No problem. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna bring up this little spreadsheet that I made, and then we'll go ahead and look at the chart for AMAM. So I got in AMAM at 210. 210. This is the option trade with the information based on me taking that trade. So I bought 2 calls. I paid $1.05, so $105 each for a total of 210. These contracts had a delta of 0.4. I really should have only been taking 1 contract, because based on my trade, the stop would have been a 40-cent stop. So on a 50-cent move, my risk was about $40. And this trade actually hit target at 217. I didn't get out. It pulled back. I moved my stop. I got stopped out. Actually, I didn't get stopped out. So let me not even say that. The reason that I couldn't move my stop up was because the spread on this contract was so big that I didn't want to move my stop up and get tagged. So I moved my target down just to get out of the trade as it was coming back down. And you saw what I made on the trade, $15. I was up $50. Let's look at if I would have played this as a stock trade. So on this one, the entry would have been 10 when it broke 1085, and we'll look at the chart. This had a 40-cent stop. So that meant I needed 65 shares risking $25. Cost of that trade would have been $672.70. My target would have been 1170. That's 2R. So that's 80 cents added to that number right there. Actually, it's more like 1165 is the target. And on that one, it would have hit target at 335, but it's going to be interesting when we look at the chart. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up the chart. I still have my pre-market setup, and I was taking this trade off of the 5-minute chart. So we could still look at this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my trade setup. This is the setup that I use when I'm actually taking a trade. So we got the 2-minute, the 5-minute, 15-minute, and then the option contract down there. So I'm gonna bring this over. And when I sat down, it was about 2 o'clock or so. And what I saw on the 5-minute was that AM had come down and it started curling and started moving back up. And then we had these 3 candles right here leading up to when I got in the trade. So if I highlight that candle, the high of that candle is $10.85. The range is 39 cents. I round that up to 40 cents. That's going to be very important. That's going to be very important that I rounded that up just 1 penny. And you're going to see why shortly. So I'm getting in when it breaks the high of that candle. So 1085, I want to be getting in the trade right there. I understand that we got this little wick here. That really was not of significance. Come over here, the high of that candle is 1087. So that's 2 cents above where I want to be getting in. So I get in right there. My stop is going to be down there. I'm going to drop a line where my stop is going to be at 1045. So my stop is going to be right there below the low of that candle. And this thing makes a nice move. Now my target is going to be up here. That's my first target up there. So this thing comes up, making a nice move. We up a little over 1R at this point. And then it comes back down. And let's look though. Let's come over here to the option chart. And I'm going to drop arrows on where I got out at. I got out of my first contract in that candle somewhere. Switch back over to the arrow. In this candle right here on both of them, as this was kind of coming back down. Actually, the easiest way I can do it, let me switch this over to the 1 minute. And I'll drop it exactly where I was getting out at. There we go. This gives you a better picture. I'm getting out in this candle, and then I'm getting out in that candle. And now I can remove that arrow. So I'm getting out down up in here. But look at this. I'm in this trade at 105. Let's first see what that is. Very top of this candle. Horrible feel. Horrible feel. Maybe not, because I'm getting in at the top of that candle. So I won't say horrible, but bad. So getting in at 105, let's look at the high of that candle. The high of that candle is $1.40. So that's 35 cents higher than where I got in. On 2 contracts, I should have been up 70 bucks. But on the latter, I don't ever remember seeing that much. I know that I was up $50 on the trade. So I was up at least the 2R that I wanted to make, which really was just up 1R because I was risking $40. So this candle here is a little suspicious. I think I was up the $50 in this candle. And let's look and see what the high. The high of that candle is $1.30. That's 25-cent difference. That's $50. This is the candle that I remember being up $50. Again, I would have to look at time and sales as this trade was going on to see this. And I wasn't recording. And this right here is where I'm usually looking at options, time and sales. This here is the time and sales for the actual stock. But let's come back over and look at this stuff. So again, I'm in right here. I'm up about 1R. This thing pulls back. Look at what they try to do. They try to stop out those people that had their stops right there. So I'm in 1085, 40-cent stop. My stop is going to be 1045. Let's look at the low of that candle. The low of that candle is 1046. And I am looking up at the top of this chart where it says L. So low, 1046. It comes up, pulls back down. They try to shake out people again. Let's look. The low of that candle, 1047. So I wouldn't have stopped out on either one of these. And then they shake everybody out and then they make the move. I'm hitting my target in this candle right here. Remember, we said it was 1170. That's target right there, just below my first area of concern. And then this thing just continues to make this nice move up, pulls back, market closes. It sets that high of 1350. And now look at where it's kind of chopping around at, right there at my first area of concern. But me personally, in an account that can afford to trade stocks, I would take this as a stock trade every single day of the week, just because that's my preference. In a small account where you don't have the funds to take the stock trade, whereas if you want to be able to use those same funds again the next day, then the option trade would be the play, because that money would settle the next day. And you see that you can hit your target a whole lot faster taking the option trade. But me, just because of how I like to trade, I would have preferred to take the stock play on this one. And I would have hit target. It wouldn't have been too much stress, because the option contract had a spread of about $15. Let's see what the spread is right now. So on I got a watch list right here that I keep my options on. It gives me the symbol, tells me what it last traded at, the position, if I'm in a position, the delta. So for this one, the delta right now is at 56.56. So that means for every dollar, this is going to go up $56 roundabout, or for every dollar it goes down, you're going to lose 56. Here's the spread. So right now the spread is 0.1, which is $10. So that means that it's a difference between $10 on the bid and the ask for this. That's too high for me. That's too high. And when I took this trade, it really showed on the ladder that it was too high. So really need to pay attention to that. One other thing I will bring up, if you come up here to my current account, you see that I'm still in XOM. Right now, P&L on that is $34, risking $25 on this trade. So up over a little over 1R. Percent-wise, we up 23%. That's decent money right there. DHC, this was the other one that I was holding from Friday. In at 148, small size. Right now, I wanted to see it over 170. It's over 178 right now. Let's take a peek at that one real quick. Man, we at 182 right now. Pretty good. And I showed this trade Friday on my regular recap setup, and I switched the chart to a weekly, but it didn't show these moving averages that I like to see on my chart. This was why I like this trade. It was breaking over the 50 moving average. Come over to the daily. This is the weekly 50 moving average. I just have it on the daily chart. We see that it broke over. That was Thursday. Friday, it held over it. I wanted to see that come back up to about 174. It didn't do it Friday. I said I was going to get rid of the shares if it didn't do that, but I went on and held on to them because the risk was so small. Today, we get that push over. My first area of concern on this is going to be right here, about 240, 250. If it breaks that, then my next area of concern would be like $4. But I have my stop already moved up in the money on this trade, just so that it doesn't wham bamboozle me and pull back down. But I think this is a good trade, at least up to 250. At least up to 250. I'm using 250 because look right there. We had this pivot on the weekly chart. But this is looking good. It's looking good on the 5. It's looking good on the hourly. Looking good on the 4 hour. And definitely looking good on the daily. So that's DHC. Let's take a look at ALRN. This was the one that I just bought. Very small size. You notice my stop is way down here. That's risking $5. So this thing has come back down here, stop me out. I'm gonna lose $5 on this trade. But this one here, I want to pay attention to the 4 hour chart on. Let's blow this one up. You see, ALRN had kind of just been meandering along, grinding down, and then we get this big gap down. This was on February 21st. It's kind of just been grinding its way back up. In the last 3 days, we kind of been getting this flag. I was hoping for a possible 3-bar play right here, kind of anticipating this, and that's why I got in so early. And again, look where my stop is at. I actually can move my stop way up here, and I won't be risking but a little bit of nothing. But first area of concern, right here, out to the left, to the left, to the left. Second area of concern is going to be this tail right here. And then from there, I don't know. We can see what it do. But I got my target way out of the way. Way out of the way. But that's why I took this trade. Again, small risk. And the reward is far better than the risk. So that's what we did today, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the recap. A little different. Figured doing the recap on that AM might take a little longer, so I didn't want to go through and recap all of the other trades that we took today. But hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button if you haven't already done so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. Would love to have you over here at Living My Dream Trading. And it doesn't cost you a thing to do either one of those. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.